Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. Welcome to Mathematics with Shahab Yaqub. So now in P1, let's solve some questions related to arithmetic progression. First of all, how does an arithmetic progression comes into being? We have a first term, we add a common difference, we add another common difference, and so on. So that's how an arithmetic progression sequence is produced. The term formula, that is a plus n minus 1 into d. There are two some formulas. That is the first one, the commonly used one, n divided by 2. 2a plus n minus 1 into d. And there is also another formula, Sn, that is n divided by 2a plus l, where l is the last term. Also, be sure of the fact that when we talk about the common difference, that is a term higher up in the series minus a term before it. So this could be T100 minus T99 also. So that is the concept of AP. Now let's look at the first question from our topical book. The question says the first two terms of an arithmetic progression are 16 and 24. Find the least number of terms in the progression which must be taken for the sum to exceed 20,000. Now, when we studied AP and GP on campus, we had two separate classes and we did a question like this from one of the exercise book. Now, first term is 16. Next term is 24. That means A is 16. Common difference is 24 minus 16, which is 8. They're looking for n. They're looking for the least number. But there is something associated with an inequality. The mic fill. The least number, that means it is associated with an inequality. And the number of progression which must be taken for the sum to exceed 20,000. That means Sn is greater than 20,000. So, first of all, we will write Sn, that is n divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d. So that is n is unknown, n divided by 2, 2 times 16, n minus 1 times 8. This thing is greater than 20,000. So there is a, let's cancel off with the 2. So this 2 and this 16, I'll simplify. This 2 and this 8, I'll simplify. So therefore, in bracket, instead of 16, I think it is wiser that is simplify with this 2 over here. So 2 and 2 cancels out. And what am I left with? I'm left with a 16. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that is 4 times n minus 1. Let's go very comfortably on this particular question. So this is 16. Plus 4n minus 4. Don't forget the n on the outside, greater than 20,000. Therefore, 4n plus 12. And this is n over here. And this is greater than 20,000. I can simplify it further. Let me take 4 common out. Let me write this thing as n plus 3 greater than 20,000. Divide by 4. So therefore, in bracket, n plus 3 is greater than 5,000. And n square plus 3n minus 5,000 is greater than 0. Definitely, we need a quadratic formula. So a is 1. Coefficient of x square or n square is 1. B is 3. C is negative 5,000. Let me add a page over here. Let me first evaluate b square minus 4ac. Go do everything in steps. That is 3 square minus 4 into 1 into negative 5,000. So this is 20,000 plus 9, 20009. And then we have n is equals to minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac square root divided by 2a. So therefore, this is minus 3. Plus minus square root 20,009 divided by 2 times a. How much is a? A is 1. And now you will end up with two values of n equals to something, n equals to something. One value will be negative, right away we will reject it. The other value will be in decimals. And the rule that I taught that day was that we will always round it up. Why do we always round it up? Because n has to be an integer. And the next thing is that you have to exceed that value. And the third thing is that it's asking for the least number, and we are solving an inequality. N is greater than some value. So the rule is pick the very next integer. Now let me show you the working from yesteryears. So now this is the working. Our middle term factorization won't work. We are getting a negative value. We are getting n is equals to 69.22. So now if I draw a number line, that's the number line. And this is 6, 9, this is 70, this is 71, this is 72, all the way till infinity. So when we say n is greater than 69.22, so somewhere over here, 69.22, we are having these values, that is 70, 71, 72, and so on. Out of these values, which one is the least? So the least one is the very next integer, that is 70. So now this is the question 37, which I have thoroughly solved. Okay, so now let's focus on the WhatsApp group. And this is question 37 that is solved. That is about least value of n. And remember this thing, whenever they are asking for the least value, there is always a greater or greater than or equal sign associated with it. So just acknowledge it on the WhatsApp that this is all good, all clear. Now, people, another question that you see on the screen, that is a different kind of question, something related with circle. And let's see how it goes. So now over here, the black marker and then this thing. The question says a circle is divided into 6 sectors in such a way that the angle of the sectors are in arithmetic progression. The angle of the largest sector, is 4 times the angle of the smallest sector. And then it is further given that the radius of the circle is 5. Find the perimeter of the smallest sector. Now, not only is it associated with AP, it's also associated with circular measure. Now, there are 2 approaches. We can either work in terms of angles in degrees, that is perfectly acceptable, or we can work in terms of angle in radians. So let's see if we can work out both ways. Now, first of all, it says there are 6 sectors. Now, 6 sectors means there are 6 terms in this AP. That is the first knowledge that I got. Of course, it's an AP. That is also a piece of info. And we are talking about the angles. These angles are the terms. What else is there? The largest sector. So if I'm starting with smallest as the first term, then largest would be the 6th term. That is one approach. And it says the largest is 4 times the smallest. So T6 is 4 times T1. That's another piece of info that we have achieved. So T6 is 4 times T1. And what else is there? We should know that the sum of all these 6 terms is 360 degrees, provided I prefer to work in degrees, which I do prefer. And that's the second piece of info. And all this basic thing was there already. The angles, the terms, the smallest is the first term, the largest is the six terms. There are six terms in this AP and it's an AP. Now, first of all, let me simplify this. T6 is 4 times T1. Now, T6 is A plus 5D. T1 is simply A. So let's relate these two. So A plus 5D is 6 times A. That is the knowledge. A plus 5D, that is the sixth term. T1, that is the first term. The relationship is over there, it's 6 times. So therefore, 5D is equals to the 6, the angle 4 times. It's not 6, it's 4, my bad. I sensed there was something missing. So this is 4. Therefore, 5D is equals to 3A. That is the equation that relates the two. So this is equation number 1. All good, all clear? So now, what is the next thing? The S6. So sum of 6 terms is 360. Sum of 6 terms is 6 divided by 2. 2A, n minus 1, which is 5D. Now, if I am quick in my thinking and if I have a sharp observation, what I feel is that this 5D, isn't this already equals to 3A? Yes, it is. So just replace it. S6 is 360 degrees. That is 3. This is 2A plus 3A. This is replaced from equation 1. This is equation 2. This is basically equation 1. One equation. So therefore, 360 degrees is 3 times 5, which is 15A. So A is 360 degrees divided by 15. 360 over 30 is 12. It's half of that. So therefore, double. Therefore, this is 24 degrees. That is the first term. What are they asking? They are asking the perimeter of the smallest sector. So now let's draw a diagram. This is circular measure. And let me just draw it like this. This is R, this is R, this is theta, this is arc length, which is R theta. So therefore, this theta is 24 degree, the conversion that I need to do, degrees, radians, degrees, 180 degrees is pi radian. 24 degrees is this thing, which is, let me call it theta. So therefore, 180 degrees into theta is 24 degrees into pi. So theta is 24 over 180 into pi. So 24 over 180, let's work in fractions. So let's say 6 fours are 24 and 6 into 30. All good? And therefore, this is 2 over 15 pi. So theta is 2 over 15 pi. So therefore, S is R theta. What is R? R is given over here as 5 centimeter. So therefore, this is 5 times 2 pi over 15. That is 5 over 15. That is 2/3 pi. So therefore, perimeter is R plus R plus R theta. This is 2R plus R theta. This is 2 times R. That is 2 times 5 plus 2/3 pi, which comes out to be 10 plus 2/3 pi. So just have a good look at this question. Let me minimize it. So now this question, that is question 14. So question 14, it's about circular measure. That's how this question is supposed to be done. So question T, AS2, AS1, I have shared it, and just double check. This is all good, all clear. I'm just waiting a little bit. And now let's look at how I have solved it in the previous years. I have even focused on this thing. That is, if we take the smallest to be the first term, the largest to be the sixth term, then common difference will be positive because the numbers are increasing in size. If I switch it around, the common difference would be negative. I've worked in degrees, exactly the same thing. I have left the answer in decimals. Over there, I've left the answer in the exact form. This is the second approach. That is working in radians. So if I work in radians, what is the only thing that changes? That is the sum of 6 angles is 2 pi radians. So you get the answer directly in radians. The rest of the thing is just the same way as it is. Okay, another question of the same sort. Now let's look at question number 19. Now, question number 19, it says, in an arithmetic progression, the sum of the first n terms is denoted by Sn, a very technical question. So let me label this thing. This one is a very technical, or you can say conceptual question, simple but conceptual. It says in an arithmetic progression, the sum of the first n terms is such and such. Now, this is the sum formula that is given. Sum of n terms, that is n square plus 8n. Find the first term and common difference. Now, let me pause the recording and I want you people to try it out only for 2 minutes. Let me pause the recording. So now let's have a look at this. The formula is for sum of n terms. What we do is that we write n is equals to 1, insert it in place of n over here. So sum of one term is 1 square plus 8 times 1, which comes out to be 9. Let me write n is equals to 2. Therefore, sum of two terms, that is equals to 2 square plus 8 times 2, that is 4 plus 16, which is 20. Let me just put in one more value. As such, I don't need it. Just for fun, I'm doing it. Sum of three terms, that is 3 square plus 8 times 3, that is 9, plus 24, that is how much? 33. That means sum of one term is basically T1. So therefore, T1 comes out to be 9. Sum of two terms is T1 plus T2. So T1 plus T2, that comes out to be 20. Therefore, 9 plus T2 is 20. Therefore, T2 comes out to be 11. That means the first term is 9. The next one is 11. The next one will be 13 and so on. And just double check. This is just for double checking. So now we have 9 plus 11 is 20. 20 plus 13 is 33. That means everything is good. They are looking for the first term and the common difference. The first term is 9 and the common difference is 2. Now, what is the mistake people make? They think that 9 is the first term and 20 is the next term and the common difference is 11. That's wrong because this is not the term formula. This is the sum formula that they have created. They have created a number pattern out of it. Okay, so this particular question, let me copy it over here. And I would like you people to try out this particular question. Let me pause the recording. So now people, let's have a look at this particular question. The question says, an athlete runs the first mile of a marathon in 5 minutes. His speed reduces in such a way that each mile takes 12 seconds longer than the preceding mile. What do you expect over here? What are the terms? The terms are minutes. So first of all, you have to realize that this is an AP. That's the first thing. Because there is a common or constant difference. Now, the first mile in 5 minutes. So T1, that's 5 into 12. That is 60. So this is 65 into 60. My bad. That's 5 into 60. That is 300 seconds. That's the first term. And then the second one is 12 seconds longer. So 300 plus 12 seconds. That means first term is 300, common difference is 12. And this is everything is in seconds. So now the units are seconds, there are no more minutes. Given that the nth mile takes 9 minutes, or you can work in minutes also. So if it's 9 minutes, 9 6 54, that is 540 seconds. That is the nth mile. So A part 1 Tn, that is 540. Find the value of n. What is Tn? That is A plus n minus 1 into D. 540 is 300 plus n minus 1 into 12. 540 minus 300, 240 is n minus 1 into 12. 240 over 12, 20 is n minus 1. Therefore, n comes out to be 21. That is the 21st term. The second part, A part 2. What does it say? Let me read it. Let me underline it first. It says, assuming that the length of the marathon is 26 miles, find the total time in hours and minutes to complete the marathon. So now over here, what is happening is that we need the number of miles corresponding to the time, or the time corresponding to the number of miles. Let's have a look at the solution. So now over here, A is 300. And over here, D is 12 and N is 26. So basically, number of miles, that is number of terms. This is what you have to realize. Number of miles is number of terms. How do we know that? We know that because it says an athlete runs the first mile in 5 minutes. And then each mile takes 12 seconds more. So over here, 26, that is your n. So 26 is your n. And sum of 26 terms, that is n divided by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 into d, that is this many seconds. And then it's back to O-level maths. You divide by 60, that is 195 minutes. 195 divided by 60 is 3.25 hours. That is 3 hours and 15 minutes. That is the answer for this particular thing. So we have practiced a lot of questions of AP, past paper questions. And we also practiced earlier the concept of sum to infinity. So in tomorrow's class, we'll be focusing on GP questions. Take care, everyone.